Hey, welcome back to my channel. As you guys know, I'm on acne medication, so you know, the skin is doing what it's doing. But I wanted to do a little get ready with me while I answer questions, because a couple days ago on Instagram, I asked you guys to send me questions. So we're gonna go through them and we're gonna answer them. First question, can you tell us about your UK passport? How is it possible? I'm British. My dad and entire paternal side of the family is British, and born there and everything. So I am a citizen and got a passport. I'm using the Tarte I'm using the Tarte CC. Still haven't done this in a while. Tarte CC Undereye Corrector, and I'm actually just gonna use it to correct some of the redness. I know I just use green for red, but when I put it like under my foundation, which is a little bit too like yellowy for my skin, it just looks a lot better. Have I ever struggled with an eating disorder? No. I have a very healthy relationship with food. I think my mom did a really good job, and obviously, you know, eating disorders, I don't actually know much about them, so I can't really speak on them, but my mom did a really good job with me and my relationship with food, and it's just never really been a thing that I have struggled with. I've struggled with other things, but not specifically with eating disorders. Okay, there's a lot of questions about my living situation. One is, am I gonna be sad when am I sad now that I live at my new place? So I don't actually live there yet because I still don't have appliances. So I still am staying here. And when I get appliances and stuff, I'll move back. And will I be sad to not like live together? And honestly, the answer is no, I won't be sad because I'm an only child, kind of. I have a half brother, but I grew up for 15 years, you know, as an only child. I've never actually lived with my brother. So I'm really good at being by myself, and I really like my space, and we live so, like, we even live close together, so like I'm still gonna see him all the time, but having my own space is really important to me. And on the question of, someone asked why we don't live together, and I don't know, we saw how that worked out for me last time. I'm not planning on moving in anytime soon. I obviously bought my place for myself. It's not big enough for two people, and I'm very happy with my situation. I don't really want to actually move in with anyone anytime soon. Lots of questions about money and how to save. I was actually thinking of doing like a money video, not anything like specific about, just like tips on how to save and like little things. My mom is like very, very good at money and has honestly taught me a lot. Oh, I'm using the Kogen Dough Aqua foundation. My mom has taught me a lot and has made me a very thoughtful purchaser and very frugal with money. So I would definitely be down to do some sort of like, you know, 10 tips on how to save money or something. Could be a good vid. I get a lot of questions about if I'm gonna get a dog, and the answer is no. Well, this one says fur baby, and there's a bird in there. I would never get a bird, guys. Like, they really freak me out. I won't be getting a dog because I think dogs are a huge responsibility. Like, they aren't just some cute thing that you get and like play with. Like, if I got a dog, it would be like, I would have to train it, and like it would be like a whole other job. I think it's really irresponsible to get a dog and not train it. When I see big dogs, especially like jumping and like are totally disobedient to their owners, I just think it's very dangerous and irresponsible. So for me, it would just be a huge undertaking and something that I'm just not willing to do right now. On top of that, my normal life, I travel a lot, and again, very irresponsible of me to get a dog when I'm literally never home. So no dog for me, although I fucking die for them. I love them so much. Probably, maybe one day. How do I feel in my own new apartment? I'm guessing that's like, how do I feel that I own an apartment? Honestly, super surreal, especially like I don't live there. I don't even feel like I own it, you know, like just feel like it's a place I go to sometimes. This is the Kosas concealer. I feel like I don't know, it just actually like doesn't feel real. It still feels like I'm just like paying rent because I'm just paying a mortgage, you know? It's weird, it's definitely weird, but it's cool. But it's also scary. It's really scary. It's like obviously huge. Will I ever move to the US? Probably not fully. I think I would move there for a period of time. Do I want to move there right now because our leadership in Canada is so bad? Kind of. But I'm gonna use the By Terry's CC cream for some bronze. But no, I don't think I would move there full time. I don't think I'd move anywhere full time. I think like I'll move places for periods of time, but you know, never say never, and we shall see. What habits do you want to continue after COVID, and what habits do I miss? I don't want to continue any habits after COVID. I'm so sick of this lifestyle. Maybe like cooking. I think I didn't really cook before COVID, and now I like fully know how to cook, and I cook quite a bit, so probably just cooking. But that said, I don't actually want to cook ever again. I want to go to a fucking restaurant. If you don't know, Ontario's still in a full lockdown. We've been in a full lockdown for about 3 months now. You know, I definitely want to cook, but I also want to go to a restaurant every single night and drink. I miss it. I miss life. We're approaching a year. There's not a lot of habits that I picked up in quarantine that I'm like, yeah, I'll continue this after. Like, I had a really good schedule before. I missed working out so much. I miss seeing my friends. I miss traveling. I miss, I don't know, a lot. I miss a lot. I miss seeing my family. Haven't seen my family in like a year. How is Jonathan's business doing? As you guys know, Jonathan is in the restaurant industry, so it hasn't been a good year for him. His restaurants have been pretty much closed the entire year. They were open for like 2 months or something. That's scary. So it's been very rough. He's also in the music industry, as you can see from the plaques and stuff. Also very, very rough on the music industry. So it's been tough. Definitely been a tough year. Will you continue to do YouTube until you're 30 and beyond? Yeah, like 30 isn't the end of your life. You're not like, oh, I'm 30, I'm dead. It's weird because I think a lot of people think that. This is the Sigma in Persuade. It's like the I don't know, primer thing. I think when you're younger, you think that you're gonna like, you need to do everything before you're 30. And then as you get older and you approach 30, you're like, oh, like I still feel like I'm like a teenager inside, you know, like 30 is not old. 30 is really young actually. So I'm also only 28. 2 more years till 30, but yeah, I will do YouTube for as long as you'll have me. Tips on keeping your home tidy. My home is literally never tidy. I'm the messiest fucking person. Things I do to keep my mental health on track. Well, normally I would work out. Working out is a huge one for me. And to be honest, like working out at home is just really, really not the same for me mentally or physically. I'm using Hoola bronzer. I like need to go somewhere to work out, you know, like I need to go to a gym. That was like a whole thing for me. Like I need to be around people. I like to get that mental stimulation that I get from working out. I really need to do that. So it's been tough for me for that. I missed going to a gym so much. Again, been like a fucking year. So that's really important. And then meditation and reading is huge for me. I meditate every day. I read constantly. And I choose to be happy, and I actively do things to be happy. And I think with happiness and mental health, it's really a lot of work. And to not do the work is really easy. And to do the work is very difficult. And it's, you know, sometimes you're tired and you don't want to do it, but you just have to because it is so beneficial. So I actively do things every single day to make sure that my mental health is good. And I'm just putting bronzer on my eye. it's difficult, like, you know, especially when you have actually, like, you know, I have depression and I used to have anxiety. I would say I don't really have anxiety anymore, but at the beginning of the pandemic, my anxiety fucking blew up. But I've really have my anxiety under control. My depression, you know, seeps back in even when I'm doing all the things that I should be doing or am doing. You know, it's a work in progress. It's something that you have to work at every single day. Any of the questions that say, will you come to this country? The answer is yes. Would you get any more tattoos? Yeah, I actually really want to get some more, and I had a plan to get some more before the pandemic, but obviously you can't now. I'm also gonna get this one removed. But yeah, I have a few that I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury powder in light, or sorry, in fair, and I find it like looks a lot lighter in here than it shows up on your skin, which is kind of weird, but it like gives this blurring effect. It's really, really cool. Everyone's like, oh, we want to see your home, we want to see your kitchen. Same, girl, same. Is it weird moving into your new place because essentially you're moving backwards in your relationship? I don't really view stuff like that. Like, as I was saying, like, I really like having my space. This isn't like living together. Me staying at his house isn't actually living together in my... I think there's a huge difference between staying at someone's house and actually deciding like we are gonna move in together, we're gonna merge all of our stuff, we're gonna pay bills together. Like, that is so different. Like, I'm just like staying here. Like, all my stuff isn't here. I don't pay bills here. I don't pay rent here. And I don't really view things as like going backwards or forwards. I just don't view life like that. I just view it like it is what it is, and you're doing what needs to be done for you. Everyone's relationship is so different. So I just don't really view it like that. I'm just putting the powder on my eyes too. Oh, I used Naughty and Spice on my cheeks, by the way. When will Uncle have extended sizing? This is a great question. It's something that we talk about and think about all the time. Having a lot of sizes is very expensive. Every time you make a new size, we're really, like, I think a lot of people think we're bigger than we are. We're very small. Every time you add a new size, you have to get a new pattern. And then when you buy fabric, you have to get enough fabric in order to make, you know, as many sizes as you want, and then enough units in each size, and it's just really expensive. We just don't have the funds right now. So as we grow, like, we of course are gonna extend our size range. Another thing is, we don't wanna just like, Shren and I have read a lot of articles about extending sizes and how you can't just sometimes like just extend the size because that fit won't specifically work, and every body is so different. So when we do extend sizes, we want to make sure that we're doing it correctly and not Shren and I doing it, because we don't know. We aren't experts in that field, and I want to have someone on our team that will help us with the size range when we can expand both ways, because we only have extra small right now, and we only have extra large. We have 2 extra large, but when we go into the bigger size, the larger size range, I want to make sure we have people on our team that can properly consult and can help us with that. So it's not just Shren and I doing what we think works. We want to make sure it actually works for the people we're making the sizes for. So yes, it's coming. Just give us time. We are still trying to figure out our supply chain at this point. Do I ever wish my job was more structured, like a 9-to-5? No. I would just not thrive in a 9-to-5 at all. I would just not do well. Using the Charlotte Tilbury highlight. How to stay calm and control your emotions better? Well, learning how to control your thoughts and not reacting is number 1. When someone says something to you that makes you feel a type of way, you don't have to react. You don't have to do what you feel like doing. And once you learn how to not react and to control your thoughts and not your emotions, because things will still make you feel a certain way, but once you learn how to control what you feel like doing and you stop doing that, you'll be able to control your, what was the question again? You'll be able to stay calm. So if someone says something to me that I don't like, or that makes me feel a certain way, okay, now what? Like, me freaking out or responding is literally not going to change what they've done or what they've said. What I do is I stop and I think about it and I process it, and I don't feel weird when like a conversation has like a lull, like if there's a pause or a silence, you don't have to just like say something because someone else said something. So I think about it and then I respond accordingly. That's not to say like I don't ever, react at all, but I really, really try hard not to react because I don't think that any good comes of it. If you could pick one color to wear for the rest of your life, what would it be? Black. So many comments about Epuris and acne medication. I'm gonna do a whole video on it where I've kind of like documented, not like each week, but I've documented the journey, and then at the end, in hindsight, I'll reflect back and then we can like go through the process together, because I feel like it's kind of hard to, why did my voice do that? I feel like it's kind of hard because I'm like in it, so I want to like do kind of like I did with the fertility video, where I document the process throughout and then we like take a look back after it's done. So I will have it. I'm guessing it will be, I'm only supposed to be on it until April, so I think in May we can do a little hindsight video if I am off it. I'm only doing 4 months of, well, we'll see, but it's supposed to be only doing 4 months of 20 milligrams. This is the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara and I love it. Also, this is my Uncle Muscle Tank and I also love it. And then I just use like a little lip liner to just outline my lip. All right, so that's the look for today. I'm gonna answer a few more questions. Do you see yourself as a cool girl? How do you balance your image versus personality? I don't see myself as cool. I just try to be me, and that's it. That's nice if you think I'm cool, thanks. A lot of questions ask me if I'm happy. Yes, I'm literally always happy. Even in the worst of times, I'm happy now. I don't know how to describe that, but I just am like on a constant state of being happy. I don't know, like, because I don't know if you understand what I mean or if that makes any sense, but yes, I am very happy. Do you feel your university helped you in your work? Yes, I needed to go to university. Like, I don't know if everyone needs to go to university, but I definitely did. It was very helpful. I experienced a lot. I made all of my good friends in university, and it was a very important time in my life. Even if my degree doesn't necessarily like work with what I'm doing now, the critical thinking aspect, the writing aspect, and the experiences and the friends made were definitely worth it. The hardest part about being an entrepreneur. I think there's a lot of hard parts about working for yourself. At the beginning, it can be very lonely. Honestly, the whole way through, it can be very lonely, because even when you have people working for you, they don't fully understand the struggle of actually running the business. You're kind of constantly always in a state of fear. It's so easily could fail. And as you get employees, people's livelihoods depend on you, and that's really tough. It's a lot of pressure. It's also so rewarding, but we're obviously talking about the hardest parts. So I think those are very difficult. And just, you're kind of constant, like, not doubting yourself, but you're like kind of doubting yourself. Like, is this actually gonna work? I think those are very difficult. And the money aspect, very difficult. Do your best, A. Okay, 1 second. That was such a good movie, eh? Do I have tattoos? Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 tattoos. Isn't it hard working with your best friend? Yes, it is. Shren and I went through a very big period of time where we struggled and we were not good at communicating. And once we like had a really tough conversation, a few actually, and figured out our communication, things got a lot better. We realized that like business is business, friendship is friendship. We learned how to separate the two, and when we're talking business, and then we can switch into friendship when we want. But anything we say in business is not a personal attack. It's just for the health and wealth and success of the business. So once we figured out the communication, things got a lot better, but it was definitely very difficult at the beginning. Why a 1-bedroom apartment? Wouldn't you want a 2-bedroom house for the future? Have you seen Toronto prices? A 2-bedroom house with land, backyard, etc. in Toronto is millions and millions. So I would love one if I had millions and millions of dollars. But also, I am by myself and I do want a concierge for security right now. So also Toronto is kind of a condo city right now. So eventually I will own a house, but not right now. Do I regret buying a place yourself after living with your boyfriend for months? No, not at all. Like, I don't make decisions like that based on an early relationship. Like we had only been dating for like 4 or 5 months 4 months maybe when I bought that place, and like I'm not making a life decision based on that. I obviously care about him and, you know, we have such a great relationship, but you never know what's gonna happen, and I need to make decisions and investments for myself. And he was so supportive of that. He was like, yeah, buy your place. Like we don't talk about moving in together, you know, it's not something that we want to do right now. I think we're both very happy that we spend a lot of time together, and, you know, I'm staying here, but I think he owns his place, I own my place, and that's really great. There's so many good questions, guys. I want to keep going. What was my primary income during university? I had a job. I worked at a bank in university. And then YouTube was making me like some money, but I had also saved a lot of money. I had a job, I worked at Abercrombie, and then I worked at a bank. So I saved money as well. But then I had YouTube as well, which kind of started to pay a little bit. I also had an RESP, which is a registered education savings plan, which paid for my school. Didn't pay for all of it, but my mom was very good when I was born. When they first came out with the RSP, if you put money into it, the government would match how much money you put into it. She was very good at that, so I did have savings in that. And then I had jobs as well. How did Jonathan and I meet? We met at a bar in 2016. I was drunk, and I thought that I knew him. Like, I thought that we kept seeing each other on King Street. Like, we would run into each other. I thought he was like my elevator buddy. You know, there's someone who's always in the elevator with you. I thought that he was that for me. I was like, I know you. And he was like, I don't know you. And I was like, yeah, we bump into each other all the time on King. And he was like, no, we don't. And I'm like, oh. And then we kind of just like hit it off from there. Dated for a little bit, you know, a few months, didn't work out, went our separate ways, had different relationships. And then it kind of, you know, started again. I'm done with Doug Ford, honestly, same. Probably the worst person to have us leading us through this pandemic. The fact that we don't have testing, the fact that we don't have proper vaccination distribution plan. I'm so sick of it. I hate it here. Okay, love you all, peace and love, bye.